Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Chimera Elite, and today, this is the last of the in-depth guides, for now at least, for the heroes or champions. And today we're looking at Silienne of Leveme. And she is probably the most interesting hero in that up till now, all the other heroes are capable of frontlining their army. They're capable of leading the assault. They're capable of staying there and making a huge difference. Silienne, on the other hand, is pure ranged. Emerok is, like I always say, he toes that line along with the Guardians of Equilibrium. He toes that line between ranged and frontliner. Silienne is 100% support, but not necessarily support because let's take a quick look at her stats. She has five mobility, pretty good hex. She can move 5 hexes, 10 on a sprint, which is actually very good. Actually, typical health. Her accuracy is phenomenal. Again, she's essentially a sniper. She has not bad parry. Her dodge is huge because as a archer, you're not wearing a whole lot of clothing, a whole lot of armor, in fact, and that's reflected in her toughness, which is 8. Now, a few other things. Her damage is 12, and her will is 10. Will, I can fear her pretty easily, but that also comes with the fact that it's going to take a while for me to actually get to her. Now, okay, yeah, her damage is 12, but where are you? This little thing. Assassin. And accuracy. She doesn't have damage 12. She has damage 15. And she has assassin, meaning that again, this is a lion army we're talking about. Lion armies are typically somewhat large. I've fought a lion army that was, I think, 10 or 11, counting the hero, 10 or 11. And with assassin, she's not dealing 15 a hit. She's technically hitting for 19s. That's terrifying. But before we get into all these great attributes, let's check out her abilities, which pretty good. This is actually really, really good because the unit stops to aim at his, need to change it, at her target's head in order to inflict a devastating strike plus 6 damage for this attack. The difficulty of this shot reduces its accuracy by 6 for this attack. Okay. Her accuracy drops to 9. Oh no. She's hitting for a whopping 21. But here's the thing. You're not going to be making that shot unless you have a guaranteed, not guaranteed obviously, but you have a really high chance of actually hitting it. And that also means that unit is probably engaged with some more of your units, be it sparkling, swordsmen, lions, valkyries. That increases the damage even further. So you could be dealing possibly 23 to 25 damage a shot. And this kind of brings to light her second ability. But double shot really isn't all that good. It's actually interesting because other archers also have double shot. But, they changed it. Okay. Never mind, they changed double shot, actually. In the past, double shot had, I think, -4 on the attack, or -3. Um, huh. That's interesting. That's really interesting. But you have a -8 accuracy for 2 attacks. Honestly, this is kind of useless in my opinion, unless you have some sort of proc that you can poison her shots or something, and there's a chance for that. Other than that, double shot really is just flat out the worst. It's not as good as headshot. You have a -6 for +6 damage, whereas -8 for 2. But in this game, every attack counts, and if you miss both of those, then you just wasted a turn. Now her ult, I guess what they were thinking is, seeing as she already has 2 damaging abilities, I think their thought process was, okay, being an archer, what's one of their most dangerous things? Like, what's the most dangerous thing that an archer can deal with? And that would be having to deal with someone up in their face whacking them a few times. And Mirage Cloak kinda solves that problem. When using her Mirage Cloak, Silienne sees her movement increase to 6, and she becomes immune to effects that immobilize or prevent disengagement. Moreover, all disengagements by Silienne are automatically successful until the end of the turn. So literally, she can just pop this and get the hell out. Which is, I guess that's good, because you can pop the Mirage Cloak, take a few steps back, or weave through the battlefield and you don't get hit. You don't get hit, which is great, and essentially create a minefield if you set it up right. And Silienne is somewhere in the front or something, and let's say I have Ryscar run up and slap her twice. She's probably below half right at this point. With her 8 toughness, she's not tough at all. She's not supposed to be a frontliner, and she's sure as hell not. But let's say Ryscar comes up, slaps her twice. She's getting kind of hurt. She pops Mirage Cloak, runs, she turns around, shoots Ryscar with, say, a headshot. That is going to end up with Ryscar being hurt, and depending on where she runs, she can run through her own army, and that's shit that Ryscar has to deal with before he can even think about getting to her. That's actually the biggest thing about her, because let's say I ignore everyone in her army and go straight for her. If the line player has set his army up right, I essentially have to run through a minefield to get to her. And that makes it not worth it. And as you're slowly fighting away to her, you're getting picked off. And that hurts. She hits very, very hard. And especially when you're just running around and engaged, that's just essentially a flat out extra 2 damage. So she's in fact dealing 17 damage a shot. 17 damage. That sounds very, very, very familiar. That's more than the Flesh Golem. That's more than the Flesh Golem, and about as much as Melmoth. That is very, very good. Now because it's been a while, let's look and go through her attributes. Strategist 1. While it is important to go first, it's not imperative, and the line already have really high discipline or initiative rolls, so +1 is essentially makes them average. Pierce Heart, Jesus, she has a range. Let's see if it's actually here. Actually, I don't know. I don't know the exact range of archers, but here's the thing. Range of all of them by 2. Critical chance plus 10%. And she has a permanent 5% chance to kill outright for ranged attacks. That's dangerous. That's really freaking dangerous. Her equal aura is actually very good, especially if you have other archers on your team. That's a plus 10% critical strike chance to all allies. whether she's like standing right behind the front lines, and because let's say you're on, I forget which map it is, but it's like the middle is essentially a big hex. I think it's the undead area, and you create a choke point. You can have her standing right behind the front line, or a little ways behind it. They're within that aura that gives them a buff to their potential damage. Sure, it's kind of risky, or rather, it's not reliable, but it could help, and that's really what matters. Accuracy, I already talked about that. Assassin, I already talked about that. Sharpshooter, you can't hide from her. Like, you can hide from, obviously, line of sight and all that, but if you're in cover, it's not going to do you shit. Instinctive firing is actually very good. You can move and shoot, no penalties, and it lowers the risk of actually, like, shooting into the fray, which is honestly, it's what you're going to be doing the majority of the time anyway. So it makes sense. And bravery, 20% bonus to withstand any fear effects. Not bad. But keep in mind, if I'm fearing you, I'm going my full fear route, which is, or it would be rather. Let me just hop over here. That is Carnifex with fear, with the Mask of Gundar on. That's 24 fear. You're feared. I don't care who you are almost definitely feared. But Silienne, very good actually. Brings good orders to the field. Fire at will. It's alright. It's pretty good. Essentially, it is, okay, time for an all-out attack. And this is actually, now that I look at it, it's actually an improved defensive stance. Because it says nothing about parry dropping. So if you use this on something like a War Lion, who, let me just tell you, they hurt a lot. An Assault Lion or Savage Lion, these guys really, really hurt. You obviously can't use it on this guy, but you toss it on this one and whew, that hurts. That hurts a lot. Really high parry, low toughness, high dodge, and mobile. That's, you essentially just turned it into Ryscar. Obviously without the bonuses, but actually more damage than Ryscar. But still, very high damage. Very, very high damage potential. And if you have certain magicians in your army, wizards in your army, or Valkyrie who desperately needs the faith, you can pop this on them and boom, you've got it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. If you want more. And what's next? Really, right now, all that's next is more gameplay videos, and I'm sure you guys are gonna enjoy that a lot more than just listening to me ramble. But really, all I can do right now is I might look at the other units. Really, tell me guys what you want, because I'm gonna be pumping out more gameplay videos. And whenever the big changes come out, when like the patch logs, I'll probably check out those. But the biggest thing that's coming up in the future is the announcement of the new armies, because that's really what everyone's looking for. Because we've been messing around and playing with these armies for who knows how long. Obviously, you can tell which ones I actually play. These I barely touch Beyond Flesh and Blood and Company of Solar, but it's these guys. It's this guy, this army that I mostly use. And I don't know if you guys really keep up with patch notes and whatnot, but if I can just get you guys more information, then that'd be great. And subscribe, because these are typically, the changes come out pretty quickly. So just subscribe and hopefully you'll catch them as soon as they come out. I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Peace.